Good morning. I'm Katie Dutcher from Flourish and Bloom and Monterey Bay Meditation Studio. Happy New Year. This is my first going live of 2019, and I also took a little bit of time off over the holidays. What I had been doing, some of you know this, or some of you are just new to this. What I had been doing every Wednesday morning at 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, I had been leading a meditation, a live meditation, and then afterwards I download that meditation and I put it on YouTube, and quite a little library built up. I was doing that all of 2019, all of 2018, and what this video is about is kind of my thoughts about what I'm going to be doing going forward this year. I'm still continuing with Wednesday mornings at 8:30 a.m. PST. But I want to, I'm just having this wish to kind of mix up the format a little bit. Um, Meditation is wonderful, and I love meditation. And it isn't the only thing that I want to offer, and it isn't the only way to practice mindfulness, to practice kind of being aware in your own life. And so, what I am planning to do going forward, starting next week, is sometimes meditation, and sometimes more like this, like a kind of a discussion, or a kind of talking about something that's coming up, or something that I'm noticing. Um, of course, not just anything, but related to certain topics that I tend to gravitate to. And so, for me, those topics, just to kind of give a little list, um, they happen to be things that I work with, and then because of that, they happen to be things that I like to talk about and teach about, and discuss. So, one of the things is anxiety. So, talking about what it is to deal with anxiety and stress, um, how we work with that, because for some of us, it's really an ever present thing. It's not something that goes away, but we're continuously learning more about ourselves, and how we can work with it, work with what's happening. Um, Along with that, uncertainty, which uncertainty and anxiety pretty much go together. Um, and then things like courage, how we act with courage, how we bring up the courage that's already inside of us to work with times of anxiety and uncertainty. Um, I keep looking down at some of the notes that I wrote. I like to talk about topics around authenticity and vulnerability, what it is to really be able to know who you are, to kind of have a inner knowing and an inner security in who you are, in who we are, and then how we can live into that, how we can show up as our true, authentic, wonderful, unique selves in all the different contexts of our lives. And again, what gets in the way of that? What makes it difficult to do that, to show up? So it's this, the sides of authenticity, of this kind of fitting in or hiding, and again, how we work with that. More and more, I think it's interesting to talk about introversion and highly sensitive, the aspects of being a highly sensitive person, as I know that many of you are, partially because um, that the introversion and HSP traits kind of also feed into anxiety and some of these other things. Um, so there'll probably be some talk about that. Um, Definitely mindfulness, mindfulness and meditation, and specifically mindfulness or awareness that is in our daily life, that isn't separate. So often, we were doing meditations throughout the year, and that is like a formal way of doing mindfulness, of practicing mindfulness, and it's a part of most of my days, to teach and to do my own practice of meditation. So that's kind of like setting aside this time to develop this practice of noticing, of being with what's here, of being non-judgmental toward what's occurring. And then we go into the rest of our life, the other 23 hours plus of the day, and how do we then continue to be aware? And what do we see when we are turned on and noticing? What are we noticing? So certainly this lens of mindfulness will thread all through everything that we talk about. And so I'm excited about this. I'm excited to expand the format to kind of be a little more free with what will happen on these Wednesday mornings. And I hope that you'll join, whether you join live via Facebook or afterwards, checking out the YouTube channel and seeing what's been posted there. And I do have an ask for you, something that I would really appreciate and something that would make this richer. I keep mentioning the word discussion or conversation, and I really would love it, and I think it would be richer for everyone, if you would, like, if you're into this, if you're engaged with this, if you would interact in some way. So basically participating, making this not just a kind of me spouting about whatever I think is interesting, but really, if you're watching, let me know what you think, and I'll give a couple ways that you can do this. One is that if I'm live on Facebook, you can actually comment right while I'm talking, and I'll try to look over at my screen and see what you're contributing or what you're asking. You can also leave comments when you watch afterwards, whether on Facebook or on YouTube, and we can continue the conversation. You can also email me if you'd rather not comment, put something that everybody can see. You can email me at hello@katiedutcher.com. And the kinds of things that I would love to hear are your thoughts. What's sparking for you, your kind of comments and opinions on these topics, your questions. I would be thrilled to do, if some interesting questions come up, do a video just talking about one of your questions. And then your wants, like if there are other topics or kind of twists on some of these things that you would like to hear explored, please tell me. What I really love is for this to feel alive and to feel like something that actually um, you personally, if you're watching, to be something that you're interested in and that feels beneficial for you. And the more that you participate or give some feedback or kind of, guide and direct this a little bit, the more it will be that way. And I'm excited about that as well. So yay for 2019 and for us connecting with each other. I'll also just share on the kind of vulnerability side of this, how it's an interesting thing to be. This is a relatively newer thing for me to turn a camera on and talk to it, um, and it's like a kind of a disembodied thing. It's as if I'm talking to an audience, but I have no idea who they are, or if anyone. And there'll be times that I've committed to this time, and I'm offering these things, and yet I have no sense of if it's just kind of going into the void. And then I'll meet someone. Maybe it'll be somebody who I know, but I haven't seen for for a while, and they'll say something like, "Oh yeah, I watch your videos, and I think, such and such thing, or this was interesting to me." And I it touches me so much. It isn't even so much what the person says, but that, like, oh, we are making a connection and I didn't even know it. So this is also that piece of let me know you're here, let me know what you're thinking. And it I guess it helps me be even more jazzed about what's happening here, because I know that there's someone on the other end. So I'd like to end today with just a very short meditation. Just it'll just be a minute or two, and this goes along with one of my current and recurring thoughts about mindfulness, meditation, and really about everything we do that benefits us, which is that even a little bit counts. I care much more about something that happens every day, even just a little bit, than something that's super long and difficult to fit into the day. So with that, we'll do a short meditation, and you don't even have to change anything about where you're sitting or what you're doing right now. Meditation can happen anywhere. So you can just close your eyes, or even if you're in public and it doesn't work to close your eyes, just look down, look off into the distance if you want, and we'll begin with the bell. For these moments, just letting yourself sit here. There's absolutely nothing that you have to do. Letting yourself rest in being. Clearing this little space and seeing what arises. Pleasant, unpleasant, just being with it, knowing that everything changes moment to moment. Sending yourself now just a kind wish. May I be well today. May all my strengths and gifts come forward. May energy come through me into all the things that are important to me. Now be present. Listening to the sound of the bell to close the meditation. Thanks for being here, and I look forward to continuing the conversation. See you next week.